Good morning. Uh, Today we have with us Sanjita Mohapatra, who had appeared for Civil Services Exam 2019, and she has secured All India rank of 10. A very proud Sanjita Mohapatra is with us, and we welcome her from Rouse IAS Study Circle.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I would not take the word proud. I'd say I'm very humbled. I don't feel proud anymore. It's a humbling experience. So I feel very humbled to be an AIR10.
Yeah. Before we start our conversation with Sanjita, I would like to introduce Sanjita to our audience. Sanjita belongs to Cuttack, Odisha, and she is married, a general category candidate. Her entire education has been in Odisha in 10th and 12th, and finally her BTech in mechanical engineering was from Odisha. Sanjita has been a science student in 10th and 12th, which she followed up with her BTech in mechanical engineering in 2012. She has excelled all through her academic life, and she has excelled finally in CSE also. After she did her BTech in 2012, Sanjita was employed with Steel Authority of India Limited in Rourkela for 5 years. And in these 5 years, she had been attempting to clear CSE, and this was her 5th attempt. So Sanjita, you would be aware that after the results have been declared, there have been number of, toppers talk. People have been interviewing the candidates, and a lot of things are being said about the strategy to succeed in CSE. So there's plenty of information is available. I would like to go a little at a tangent from this. I wanted to ask you a few things about the beginners, the people who are yet to make a foray in civil services exam, who are contemplating to for civil services. So let me start you. Let's start by asking you, what do you think? What should be a beginner's? Why should a beginner choose civil services as a career?
You should, whoever is starting or choosing civil services as a career, I would like to tell them that first introspect yourself. Really think what is the driving motivation for choosing civil services. Is it money? Is it power? Then they are superficial things and they won't last. UPSC is a very long journey where you have to work really hard. There will be time when you are really lonely, there's no one there, and who will stand next to you is you yourself. And then you need self motivation. Money, power, they cannot give you self motivation. At certain point of time, they will plateau.
True.
So think which is really driving you. In my case, I'll give my personal example that my case, the self-driving motivation was helping the society. Why? It's a very broad term, everyone talks about it. If I am sitting in front of you giving this interview and people are congratulating me, this is because the society has helped me reach here. There was a time when I thought I would have to drop out of my studies because there were many financial troubles. Many people face it. But at certain point of time, I thought I cannot continue. Maybe not even, I thought of going to a vernacular school. But someone or the other, an NGO, a trust, they helped me out. So you see the positive side of it, that when they have helped me, brought me up to be what I am today, what best platform than the civil services to give back to the same society. So that has always been my driving motivation. So choose it.
Okay, that's a good word of advice for new aspirants. Sanjita, I remember in my times, people who used to go for civil services, but those postgraduates from JNU, I mean, little, in terms of age, they were a little senior. And then, of the years, then subsequently the trend shifted to people graduating, then appearing for CSE. And now we see a trend where the 12th class students, the moment they clear their 12th class or they're starting their graduation, they are wanting to prepare for CSE. In your opinion, what do you think? Which is, at what stage should you start preparing for CSE? Although in your case, you finished your engineering and then started. A dispassionate view, what do you think? Is it right to start immediately along with your graduation?
I'll just say that I did not start it after graduation. My preparation was on during the graduation as well. But actually, it depends on individual. How what stage of your life are you in? Are you able to give time to the preparation or not? My graduation time, the preparation focus was mainly on developing a habit of reading newspapers, being abreast with whatever is the current affairs happening, knowing what is the. I gave 2 attempts while in college. I couldn't qualify prelims. I did not even understand the nature of the examination then. So those failed attempts gave me a chance to understand what it is. So before giving any attempt, people should, the aspirants should try to understand the nature of the examination, what it demands. There is so much of material in online right now that you don't have to go anywhere if you want to start a preparation. So the ideal time can be any time which suits you. I'll not suggest anyone that since childhood you lose out all your creativity, your social life, and sit and go on continuously reading about UPSC. No, don't do that. Live your life, build a career, slowly, gradually move towards the preparation. It should be a gradual process. My struggle is a process of culmination of AIR 10 is a process of 10 years. It's not an overnight success. It has not come in a single year of study. It has a slow process, the process through which I have been studying small parts, building my foundation, gradually developing on it, and finally resulting in these marks. So everyone, I would say, usually start from your graduation. That's the time when it's a good platform then, because school plus two, enjoy your childhood. Don't mess it up with
Yeah.
so much of thinking about what I'll do so far. Have a determination. My becoming a collector was a childhood dream. So I was single-handedly focused on that I will ultimately become that. The preparation strategy started from graduation, where I slowly started reading newspapers, develop a habit, started reading some of the current affairs. After I joined my job, that is when I seriously started building upon my basics. So take it as a gradual process. Don't force yourself too much. Live your life. Don't ruin it with so much of tensions at such early stage of your life.
Yeah. So taking your point forward, so you feel that after somebody has cleared 12th and when the graduation starts, that is the time one can start seriously, thinking and start, gradually, because as you said that it's not an overnight thing. It needs a lot of time and devotion and perseverance. So of course, in graduation, when 3 years are available, that is the time when you can start building up and start preparing for the CSE. Okay, Sanjita, another thing which is very commonly asked by beginners, we see that the UPSC syllabus is humanities oriented. And this question is generally from people who are from science and commerce background. Feel that humanities background students do have an advantage in CSE vis-a-vis science and commerce?
I personally did not feel so. I have an engineering science background and I did humanities and I enjoyed both the subjects. I feel that I am a complete person now. That I had an engineering background, a technical bent of mind. Then I studied humanities, got a very logical bent of mind. I have become a more balanced person in the meantime. Yes, it is true that those studying humanities, they give a pair after 3 years. Their subjects do help in a lot of other subjects in UPSC. So I would not say an advantage. It actually depends on the person, how he studies the subject and how he is able to produce it in the examination. So it may help a science student, it may help a humanities student. UPSC is very fair, I tell you, when it comes to all of this. So you don't worry about it. You study your subject well, it will help you out.
So I'm sure that with this advice, the notion of having a little handicap some of the science and commerce background students have, that is dispelled. You say that it's equal platform more or less for everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
And in any case, everyone has studied humanities subjects to some extent till our class 10th. We all read, civil science and
social sciences and
social sciences. Yeah. So we do have an exposure. Sanjita, another question which is asked by beginners is that when they start preparing, we say that NCERT books are the foundation of CSE. So should one focus purely on the NCERT to start with, or in the beginning you need a balance of NCERT books and reference books?
For my personal experience, as I did not have much of material from the place I belong to, I focused completely on NCERTs to understand what is, because I am from ICSE background. So I hadn't studied the NCERTs while I was in school. So I began with the NCRTs, and then gradually when I got a hold, like polity, I understood the basics. Then I moved on to Lakshmikant polity or geography. Similarly, once you build your base, you understand the basics. You're crystal clear about that. Build upon the base. Don't get stuck there. You have to move on. You have to have a very current base on which you have to build the structure on it. So keep on adding up the knowledge. You're right. After a single reading where you have understood, you have to make a balance with addition of some books. Don't overburden yourselves with everything on the market. Choose one or two specific books, stick to that, revise that. Do that. Polity, one book, keep on revising. You should be thorough in articles, in legislations. If you give a book 2, 3 to 4 times a readings, you will be thorough. So stick to that. So that I think helps.
Okay. Sanjita, in your talk, you mentioned that your journey was very arduous for 10 long years and it has not come overnight. And I was seeing that this is your 5th attempt, as I mentioned, over a span of 10 years, I would say. So what motivated you to keep this focus on the CSE? Because going through this vast syllabus again and again, like a ritual every year, I mean, it is taxing on your energy and your motivation. So what kept you motivated and focused?
You're so right that when the cycle ends and you don't qualify, it takes the date the result comes out, you feel like I cannot go through it all over again. After 2, 3 days, you again think, no. I left my job thinking that no, I have to do it. My motivation, I said you since the beginning, it was the sacrifice everyone had made me just because they thought I studied well and I should be pushed forward. There have been sacrifices from so many people I can't count on over here. So I used to sit down, look back, reflect that I am blessed that I have this opportunity. There are people who do not get food to eat, books to study.
True.
I'm so fortunate, and I can work for the same people I feel empathetic about. Why not do it? See, there are NGOs, civil society organization. I can always be a part of it, do the social work. But why the bright minds of India work so hard to appear for UPSC and crack it? Because we all know it's the basic steel foundation through which we can actually bring about a change or difference in a very wider scale. So my motivation has always been that I am very privileged and I should use that to do it, help all those who are less privileged. So
true.
That's it.
True. That's a very, very noble thought, Sanjita.
Thank you, sir.
Sanjita, another question. You were working for 5 years with SAIL, and during this period, you were also preparing for CSE and taking attempts. Now, a lot of working professionals, people are there in corporate sector who want to switch to government jobs, and especially after pandemic, how Corona has, affected now the kind of job security which a government job gives. Of course, a civil job cannot give you in a corporate life. So a lot of working professionals are now kind of thinking to have an attempt in CSE. But the only thing which dissuades them is the availability of time, their professional commitment. How did you balance this professional commitment and your preparation in those 5 years when you were working with SAIL?
Yes, I would like to tell that. Before that, I would like to add to all the viewers who are seeing this that just because I was working in a PSU, everyone thinks there's very less work and you get a lot of time. I'm in private. That myth has to be broken. Now PSUs, government sectors, because of rationalization of workforce, we are overburdened. I had to finally quit because I was 5 years into the service. My responsibility has grown tremendously and I just couldn't do it. How I did it was, as sir said, many people say we don't find time. We'll have plenty of excuses कि ये कैसे नहीं कर पाए, क्यों नहीं कर पाए. You have to find out in those things कि मुझे करना है तो उसके लिए टाइम निकालना ही होगा.
True.
I had to do small sacrifices. I couldn't go out in every party that all of my friends organized. I always had to give an excuse. For 5 years, when you're an organization and every time they call you, say, sir, aaj padhai hai, I can't come. They start making fun of you. After कि 5 साल से पढ़ी रही है, कुछ हुआ ही नहीं इसका. So you feel bad at that time. But those are the small sacrifices you keep on making. And I had a schedule. You have to have a schedule. Think that 4-5 hours per day, I'll as much as you are able to make out, and stick to that schedule. I tell you, the whole year there will be times you will miss out, there will be too much of job, you cannot do that, maintain that schedule, but then make it up on a Sunday. So have that consistency. In just say, I have talked to many professionals after my results came out, they said that ऑफिस के टाइम में 1 घंटे में न्यूज़पेपर कंप्लीट कर लिया, थोड़ा करंट अफेयर्स देखते रहे. यू नो, यू हैव टू इंस्टिल दैट अर्ज टू लर्न पूरा टाइम. मैं करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ रहा हूँ, न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल्स देख रहा हूँ, दैट विल धीरे धीरे ना इट विल बी इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इन योर शेड्यूल. एंड व्हेन यू कम बैक, बिल्ड अ शेड्यूल कि आज एनसीईआरटीज का ये खत्म करना है, ये टेस्ट लिख लेना है, या ये क्वेश्चन आंसर सॉल्व कर लेना है. आई यूज टू मेक अ वीकली शेड्यूल. संडे मेरा रिविजन डे होता था, जितना पढ़ा हफ्ते भर आई यूज टू रिवाइज एंड देन मेक अ प्लान फॉर द नेक्स्ट कंप्लीट वीक कि मंडे 3 घंटे में आई विल फिनिश दिस, ट्यूसडे आई विल डू दिस, वेडनेसडे दिस. सो अप टिल सैटरडे द होल वीक का प्लान इज डन. एंड अ मंथली टारगेट कि इस मंथ में आई विल फिनिश हिस्ट्री एंड ज्योग्राफी और पॉलिटी का ये पार्ट. So have the small targets and add up to have a monthly target. Have targets. ये सोचा कि आज इतना पढ़ लिया, नहीं हुआ, you will be frustrated कि I'm not able to do. When you have targets and even if you miss, try to make it up in the next time. So focus on that. Excuses will not make you an IAS officer. How you fight through it will make you.
Okay. So along with your work, you did have a working, studying schedule. Every day you used to study. Yes. And as we also keep recommending to working professionals that study in terms of minutes, not hours. So
yes.
that is also a...
Yes.
Yeah. In terms of minutes, I mean, keep your targets small, your achievements small so that it is doable.
Yes.
Yeah. Sangeeta, you must have evolved as a CSE aspirant when you were preparing in these 5 years. I mean, you would have definitely evolved. So in the larger picture, what do you think that in 2019, you must have been, doing some changes in your studying pattern. So what actually, worked out for you in 2019?
I always say you become an officer in this whole process. Slowly, you mature every stage. What changes I did, first 2 attempts, prelims, couldn't qualify. I did not know anything. Very simple. I was very naive. Third attempt, I couldn't revise. Prelims jitna sara tha, I made so many notes, I just couldn't revise. Fourth attempt, I knew I had to read all the basic books and my all current affair notes. I used to make notes of current affairs. I have specific my own copy of prelims current affairs. I kept a single month before the prelims, it was, I don't remember, that May last week somewhere. So April last se one single month was for only revision and current affairs reading. So wo I did. So both of the times I could clear prelims because of that. Fourth attempt, mains, I couldn't qualify. The same problem. I made very elaborate notes. Exam ke pehle I couldn't finish my notes and I couldn't complete my paper. My answer writings was really slow. So fifth attempt, quality plus fast writing. That took a time. I wrote my 4th mains in October. By December, I was writing test series again, mains test series again. So December se leke March tak, the whole of the 4 months, I went on writing answers. I got really poor marks in the beginning. I was so disheartened, but I thought that is where you learn. You learn from your mistakes.
True.
I went on writing answers and then finally it evolved. I could complete the paper along with good answers. You have to understand that 7 to 8 answers out of the 20 will be very good. Around 6 to 7 will be average and 4 5 will not be good. So you have to work on those 7 to 8 answers. So do that. So that helped me.
Amongst mains tests, Sangeeta, one of the tests which is kind of Waterloo for many is essay writing. And a lot of debates about what kind of topic you should select while writing an essay, philosophical or non-philosophical, etc., etc. What are your views? How did you prepare for essay, and what kind of essay, themes attracted you?
Essay writing is one of my hobbies actually. Since school, I used to write a lot of essays. So that was something I really liked. I enjoyed writing because that's where there's no questions asked. You put out your own views as you are. I have sociology optional. So optional oriented choosing of topics. That has always been, I always try to find out some social issues, which is usually there in the part one.
Hmm.
So that always helped me because I had many dimensions. Second is, I have seen when I was preparing for essay, so I used to follow many toppers. We all do. So I was impressed by the strategy suggested by Sir Anudeep sir. That is how I started. I made 7, 8 broad topics. I had 2, 3 notes where I had the static portion, which can be a fodder material:
Hmm.
health, education, women empowerment, environment, governance. Have some quotes, and ethics paper also. It helps. Ethics paper also you put in. So you should know how to connect all these papers
Yeah.
in essays. Finally, all your knowledge should merge. You should not study in silos. They should have an amalgamation. That helps. Third is, I spend around 30 to 35 minutes in an essay exam to completely write my own rough. Choose 2 topics, 15 minutes each. पूरा rough अच्छे से बनाना है. Because I always happened जब मैंने नहीं बनाया rough, I used to get lost in the middle. ऐसे
Hmm.
लिखते लिखते. I don't know what the flow should I
Hmm.
maintain.
Hmm.
So maintaining that flow, writing that broad points is very important. Never miss it. Never just go and dive into the essay. Collect your thoughts, and then you make a rough, and then that helps. So these all points really helped me in essay.
And of course, more and more practice.
Yes, I wrote 15 to 16 essays before mains every Sunday, ritualistically. Be consistent. This goes without saying.
Hmm.
Everyone says that toppers do not read different book. They read the same book in a different way. So you all are writing essays. Everyone is doing. Maintain that consistency. सोचा कि इस बार एग्जाम से पहले 5-6 ऐसे लिख लेता हूँ, हो जाएगा एग्जाम में. No, it doesn't happen. When you write and someone gives you a feedback, you know where are the small points you're missing out. As many gave me a feedback कि बहुत ज़्यादा लिखती हो तुम. The examiner will get bored. So I try to concise it. So that is how you improve. So that's
Very
how.
well said, Sanjita. The toppers don't read different books. They read same books differently.
Yes.
Very aptly said. Sanjita, while you were, answering to this question, you mentioned about your sociology being an optional. Now, this is another dilemma, and you are from a science background, so who would know better than you? Most of the science and commerce background students get stuck in the sense that what optional should I choose? Should I take optional, what I have done and graduated in, or should I opt in one of the humanities subjects? What was your motivation to take sociology and not from your background?
After +2, I wanted to study humanities because I knew if I study social sciences, after 3 years, I can appear for UPSC. But there was much of a peer pressure, and back then in 2008, it was like either doctor bano, नहीं तो engineer bano. Science पढ़ के arts नहीं पढ़ते हैं बच्चे. So that was the driving force then. But I would say I do not regret the decision of doing engineering. It was a fantabulous decision. My professional career was built on that. The motivation was I started by reading 2, 3 topics. I read public ad, just a glance. My friend was giving exams, so I took a book. I gave a glance to that. I read geography. We had a geography background in schools. We have so that was one of my options. And then sociology, I heard a lot. So what I thought was I bought an orange color Haralambos books. That's a very small book of sociology. So I bought that, and I had time. I read that book completely. It was like a novel to me, and I immediately connected to it. You know all the happenings in the society, which is right there in front of you: family, divorce, religion. It was very interesting to me. I would say my motivation was the connect I had with that subject, and I fell in love with that subject. Right now, I gave an exam for MA in TISS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences. UPSC nahi hota, so I would have been pursuing MA in that. So your interest in that subject, how much you enjoy that subject, and how much can you produce right in that subject, that all things should drive you initially. That should be how you choose a subject. Don't just go by कि marks अच्छे आ जाते हैं. कभी कभी marks अच्छे नहीं आते हैं. There are subjects when you don't score more. So it should be something of your liking. You should enjoy that subject.
Very right. So your interest in a subject should be the driving force for you to select an optional.
Absolutely.
And not the statistics that last year so many people who had this optional made it to the list, and so many.
That is so weird, I find. I do not understand it. I'd just like to add that Students, do take your time to choose an optional. Don't rush into it.
Yeah,
It is the most important decision of your life, because maybe you don't qualify in the first attempt. It will take 2, 3 attempts. You're stuck with that subject.
true.
So I took around a month to decide. I had time. If you don't have, at least give 15 to 20 days time. Read that subject, get to know, and then dive into it.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Sanjita, the most, kind of cliched question, time management in mains, where you are running against the time, questions are far too many, you don't have time to even think. Tell us something about it.
2, 3 things. First, everyone talks about, sir, you must have told it so many times to students as well. Practice. There's no other thing which helped me except practice. Keep on writing. When I started my answer writing, I could hardly finish 16 or 17. Never more than that. It was right before 2 months before mains that I moved on to 19 number of questions out of 20. And just before mains, 3 paper I wrote completely. It was just practice. Second is, there are many, I have a habit, my syllabus is always right in front of me. My syllabus, all the topics are underlined. I must have notes for every underlined topic, at
Hmm.
least 2, 3 pages, static portion. Then only I can build on the current affairs. So for all the topics like women, social issues in paper 1, you should have some facts and figures, because some questions, when you go back to the previous questions, some questions are repeatedly asked about certain topics. So some fact and figure should be right there in your mind. Gender equality, gender inequality index, gender gap report, ARC certain points. So this will give you, everyone faces a problem with introduction chalu kaise kare.
Yeah.
Everyone gets stuck over there. I used to write 7 to 8 lines introduction. I was always cut on that. Ki reduce the introduction, make it crisp. So that took practice. So when you have a fact, data, you just put in and you start. Then the flow comes. So schemes, remember all the schemes. That helps. You end with schemes and you start with introduction. So your introduction and conclusion is done. Then you have a flow. So that these 2, 3 things helped me actually.
Okay. Sanjita, there's a very common term being used these days is information overload, excess of information. I mean, you just have to Google it and you don't know from where to start and where to end. Same as with the YouTube.
Yes, yes, yes.
There are so many sources from where you get the information. People are offering it free of cost. People are charging money. So with all this kind of information load, it's extremely important that you should know the correct source which you have to tap for studying. Now, what all sources did you tap for preparing for CSE in terms of newspaper following? You were watching some channels, were you watching Rajya Sabha TV? In terms of books, the standard books, reference books which are there, what were your main sources?
I would start with Hindu daily, religiously. I somehow had an addiction to it. I couldn't replace it with gist of editorial. That doesn't work for me. I would read that. The editorials of Hindu I arranged in GS 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 copies. The editorials would be arranged according to the GS which would relate.
Okay.
So I used to arrange that. Indian Express, the explained page. It's a wonderful page on a lot of current happenings which used to happen. So that I used to follow a lot. Many topics from there. Rajya Sabha TV, once in a week, I would do 3, 4 topics which are very relevant. So from there, you get the government stand, which is the most important thing which you write. Because in newspaper, at times, things are biased a bit. It may be a personal opinion.
Yeah.
That helped me in Rajya Sabha TV, you get a government stand. So that helped me. Third is, there are, as you said, numerous sites on numerous current affairs. I would fix on only 2. My preparation started with syllabus. For me, the syllabus was the Bible. So it helped me keep track that I'm not just studying too much. I would pick up like inclusive growth. I would pick up that topic, Google it. There will be thousands of sources, and some others they'll repeat it. So I used to make digital notes on which, when there are too many numerous resources on that, and make 2, 3 page notes, which will be standard. When I revise, I'll just go back to that. When I start revision, then again, I'll not be going on searching on Google for inclusive growth. That is not supposed to be done. You have to have a basic resources which you compile from a lot of sources and then revise it. And these were the basic sources I would follow. Basically, I can't recall anymore if others are there, because a long journey, so I have been doing a lot of research and lot of topics, so
Okay.
like that.
Okay. Sangeeta, in your personality tests, you know, the last stage of this exam, was there anything which was out of the normal during your interview, which you recall?
Yes, the face mask, the face shield, and the gloves. That was out of the absolutely out of the normal. I couldn't see the chairwoman's face, so I missed it actually. I Because everyone who gives an UPSC उसका रहता है कि एक बार interview board face करना है. So
Yeah.
that's a dream kind of a thing, you know. It tries with destiny, and I had so many hopes, but it did not fructify. But the interview was very cordial. They don't ask you questions to grill you. They ask you questions to know your in-depth
Hmm.
understanding. They don't want superficial answers जो newspaper में लिखा है. You know, someone was asking me a question about कि WHO has done so much of problems, so much of issues are there. So what is your stand on that? What will you talk about it? I said this is where when if people say WHO has done wrong only, but you have to look back that if for so many years a multilateral organization is staying, it must have done
That's
something
some
good.
good.
Like in SARS. SARS was the best example
Hmm.
WHO. The example I gave is just because when you read about a topic, always go deep, go behind. That if something is existing, why it is. WTO is existing, why it is existing. अगर इतना ही problem है, why not break it down? So in-depth understanding. Superficially don't read, and in interview they do that. They asked me about the migration problem. It's a very widespread problem, and I was expecting. They wanted to have a solution-oriented answer from you. Ki what can we do? How can it be solved? So that is what the approach was on many of the questions. I was asked about child labor, that there is so much of issues of child labor. We have so many laws, stringent regulations. What do you think? We should make the laws more stringent. So that there they wanted an understanding of do I understand why child labor exists in the first place.
Hmm.
I thought that is how they try to test your understanding. And the board is usually very cordial. It was a very pleasant experience. They are such professionals. I thought my interview went on very bad. I came out of the room and called up my husband to say nahi aayega list mein naam. I said in this exact lines, and I get scolded for that a lot. But they see your personality, they see your genuineness. If you try to fake it out over there, they'll catch hold of you very soon. So, the way you are, just portray yourself like that. That helps.
Sangeeta, it's a question. I mean, this is being debated a lot. Do you think a candidate would need a coaching for preparation for CSE?
From my personal experience, I did not take, so it's not that it is required. I would just say that those who have the resources and you're going for the coaching, they should take a now, because it took me 2-3 years to realize what to study, where to
Yeah.
study from, how to start. So I couldn't afford, so I had to miss out. If you can afford, you can go for that. And see, topper strategy, why do you do all this topper strategy? Just for the help of all those people who couldn't attend, and they can get inspired
Hmm.
and they can learn. But if you join a coaching institute, the most important thing you have to do is not again bog down, but all the current affair materials is in the market. A coaching institute is taking too much of pain to compile all the things at one place for you. So focus on that, keep revising that, and be consistent, and hard work pays off finally.
Hmm.
So if you are attending a coaching institute, work on that material which is given. Don't try to diversify again. I have heard so many people have texted me saying I'm doing coaching from this, what all sources do I have to follow again?
Hmm.
तो अपना कोचिंग का मटेरियल ही खत्म कर लो पहले.
Hmm.
Focus on that first, फिर you will think about building upon. So coaching, if you can afford it, you can go for it, there's no issue. But if you cannot afford it, don't be disheartened. You can make it out by adopting a strategy, so don't worry.
Okay. Sangeeta, did the mock interviews help you for the personality test?
Yes, absolutely. The one of my mocks in Rouse, which I gave, I couldn't answer 50% of the questions. It's doing rounds, and it's sometimes embarrassing, because you know your vulnerabilities, your lackings. That is what mock interviews give you actually. And the panelists in Rouse was so diversified and they were eminent personalities. They were so straightforward, and the variety of questions they asked me, I realized what all I have to cover. So it was a very pleasant experience. I was terrified because of my poor performance, but then that is how you learn from your mistakes and grow. So I'm here today thanks to that. Thank you so much.
Okay, lastly, Sanjita, uh, those aspirants who are appearing for the prelims now, which is in October, anything you want to tell them?
Uh, August, this month is there, so finish up all your pending जो नहीं पढ़ा एक बार भी. September should be your month to do crazy test series. You will learn the art of elimination when you keep on doing test series. So solve as many questions as you can and keep on revising. The questions when you see in prelims, you will see they come from very basic books. They don't come from the tests, the specific material, CA material, which every student aspirant reads. And I tell you, none of the question come from that. I will not take the name, but that is the reality. The point is, if your basics is clear, when you build upon on that, it actually helps. So revision, revision, revision. September has to be all about that. So be prepared, stay focused, everyone, and study hard, work hard. Don't lose out. Don't lose patience. Everything will turn out in the end. And for those who don't make it, because there are so many who don't make it on a many various fronts, this is not the end. Please, UPSC is not the end of your life. When the day you decided that you will study for UPSC, you got separated from the crowd. You are a winner on that day only, because it's a very tough exam to and very arduous journey. So use your knowledge, because we get a huge knowledge, history, geography, polity, you name it, and we study it. So use that knowledge for the betterment of the society, which was your first driving force to join.
True. Very true.
Work for the society. You people see, the people who join coaching institutes who are teaching over there, they have a UPSC background, and now they are helping to build IS, future IS officers. So do something like that. It will really help everyone. So all the very best to everyone.
Thank you so much, Sanjita. It was really a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've done extremely well. We are really proud of you. You are associated with Rouse, and it's really heartening to know about your success. And our panel members, our faculty, everybody is so enlightened and so happy to know about your success. We wish you all the best, Sanjita, all the best, and a lot of more laurels to come your way. And we are sure that we'll keep listening about you and your good work and the kind of empathy and the motivation which you have for society and to give it back to the society. I'm sure that you will do well in your life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for all the love. So I just keep me blessed. I'll seek all your blessings and guidance so that I can really work for which I finally crack that exam and give back to the society.